What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. So we're still over here at Iron Horse Mud Park up in Perry, Florida. I actually just got my parking spot so we can sit back and watch the freestyle part of the event. It's going to be super cool. There's a whole bunch of trucks all lined up. They basically get out there, rip and roar, start freaking hitting jumps, ripping through mud holes, slinging around, doing anything they can do, like your typical freestyle match like you'd see in Monster Jam. This is just a little bit more on an amateur side of things. I'll walk down there and give you guys a quick rundown of the trucks, and then we're going to start watching these guys start ripping their freaking trucks up. It's going to be super freaking cool, I'll tell you that. Real deal. Well, our boy Mr. Carlos finally showed up to check out his rig. Real freaking deal. Uh-oh. I hope he's not getting stuck at it. All right, y'all. Well, Mr. Carlos actually just got his rig stuck at it. So now's a good time to put this bubba rope to the test. Let me show you what we got going on. We're using 2 of them gator jaw soft shackles made by Bubba Rope and my brand new rope. So we're gonna see if we can move this 70,000 pound rig. Mr. Carlos unloaded his truck. Let's try this again. Round 2. 2 or dos? Dos. Well, we tried 1 truck, then we tried 2 trucks. Now we're gonna try a mother freaking deer. Hopefully that'll do it. So we just used that loop right there to move his trailer over here. Now we're gonna use the excavator to see if we can pull out his bus. Now that there's no trailer involved, let's see if the big old freaking deer can do it. Oh yeah, with ease. Go. He's unstuck at it. Well, you can get back in the truck and get back to mud bogging. I wish I was kind of in la-la land. I was making sure nothing happened, making sure the trailer didn't swing into Mr. Carlos's rig. Trying to be a good friend, and I freaking had my phone in my pocket. So what he did is he took that loop that was on that excavator and went right around that tongue right there, lifted the trailer up, and then just walked it on away. Then he hooked up and moved the camper out of the way. Dialed in. Something is messed up with his camper, though. I'm not sure exactly what it is. They think it might be the pinion might have exploded. That kind of sucks, dude. But he says he's got another camper for RYC, so Carlos will still be at RYC. Damn, supervision. So it looks like there's a whole freaking ton of trucks that are entered in this thing. They all got big motors in them. Check these guys out. Aftermath. Yeah. Gotta get that gear right. Live a killer. Just got the freaking Ponyon truck, vertebraker. It's gonna be awesome. And there is the freestyle course. They got some mud holes back there off to the side. They got some jumps. They got a big dog jump in the middle. Some tires that somebody's gonna go blasting through. Another mud hole. Thing's gonna be super freaking killing it. Who's ready for Iron Horse Freestyle? Looks like up first we got Live a Killer. time to get back to getting this thing dirty. Oh boy. Let's get after it. That is the real deal right there. Longest part. Oh, it's someone you paid. That's pretty cool. Look at this guy. He knows how to party. He's got speakers for the speakers on top of the speakers. And he's playing some good tunes. We got somebody ripping that mud up. He's riding solo too. Scared all the chicks away. These guys are a little too wild. I'm telling you, this guy knows me. He even just put my theme song on. Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. We got some boggers coming out. Something got a little wet. Probably all the chickens, a little water. That's what got a little wet. And Evil's lining up his jump. That's what he's gonna do. Danger. On the way back to camp, we seen a Ford in its natural habitat. Indigenous Ford. Its natural state. Careful, we need to be careful we don't piss it off. See if we can sneak up on it. There it is. Oh, there's its owner right there. Looks like... brake pads. Calm down, Zach. Oh, what are you talking about? I've just seen a Ford in its natural state, that's all. Oh, man. Well, let's leave her alone. Gotta get back to sleep. Danger, danger, danger. That is a Ford just living its best life right there. I don't need to be the guy that points out the obvious, but when I was sitting there just letting people know that I've seen a Ford in its natural state right on over there, AJ really quickly popped out of the truck and said, "It's just brake pads, Zach, go chill out." I don't know about y'all, but I don't pop my hood and freaking change out my brake pads. So I ain't gonna lie, I didn't realize how many people watch the videos. But I had a couple people come up to me and say, "Why are you always hating on AJ so much? Hating on the other guys with Fords?" I'm going to address it one time in this video, but that's it. I don't think I'll ever bring it up again. All my friends know that I'm just ragging on them all the time. And they all know that I would do anything in the world for them. They all know that. But in public places, their trucks suck and your Ford stinks. So, all right, they all know it. They all know I'm just fooling with them. I say that all the time in my videos. I wouldn't be shit without my friends. And that is God's honest truth. Here we go, brothers. Turbo D's about to pull that board out. Uh-oh, now he's stuck. Are y'all paying attention what just happened there? I bet it happened. Y'all didn't even pick up on it. I'm going to play it again for you. Listen to the sound change in the motor. That's it. No motor flying out of the hood, no throwing parts or nothing. Luckily, nothing crazy like that happened. But it's crazy. Those couple seconds ripping through the mud and that sound change, life of the Killin It Mega Truck has changed indefinitely because of that moment right there. Well, y'all, I think the truck is kind of broken it. So, as you can see from that GoPro footage, we were ripping through the model, everything's gonna be good, and then all of a sudden I started white smoking like a crazy man. Took the truck over to Mid-Arc Off-Roads camp. Daniel looked at it with me. We checked it's getting fuel, it's got oil. Oil looks all right. It's not overheating, I'm getting boost. They're thinking I just blew the turbo. Luckily, I already had something in mind for that. I might have to miss RYC. Might have to ride with somebody else, but luckily I was already making plans for doing something about that turbo situation anyway. So, not the end of the world. Now we're just gonna hang out here in the main model and get some good footage of people ripping their trucks out. You wanna freaking play hard, things are gonna get hard. So one real good thing about our Mega Truck family is once you break, you're never sitting by yourself. All your friends come and hang out with you, so you don't feel like a loser so much. I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of bugging me not knowing what the hell's going on with the truck. So I think we're gonna fire up real quick, head back over to camp, see a little bit more diagnosis, so we can figure out what the hell's going on with it. Y'all see the problem here? We'll start out with that. That stack is supposed to be chrome, not black. That is not ideal. Looks like we got some oil. Oh, baby. Well, y'all, we lived up to our name. She's killed. Son of a bitch. I don't even really know what to say. So I'm pretty sure that the old Killin It truck is bloated it up. Pretty sure we just cooked the motor in it. Earlier, when we were at the mud hole, y'all see where we were mudding and everything, and all of a sudden the truck just started white smoking like a son of a bitch. Well, honestly, I thought if the motor was going to blow up, and those of y'all that have seen us like perform at the different places, you probably will agree with me. I thought the motor, if it was going to blow up, it would blow up at a truck tug of war.
You can call him mental freeze when these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion.
That is by far where we are at the hardest on this thing. But, oddly enough, it did not. It blew up in the middle of the mud hole. So we were mudding all day today. We were having a great time. The truck was performing outstanding. We were ripping through all kinds of holes. We did some of the most mud bogging that I think I've really done, particularly here at Iron Horse. I've never mudded this much. And I started noticing she was sounding a bit different than usual. When you've been driving the truck as long as I have, which is not a super long time, but I mean when you're in it enough, you immediately can tell when something's goofy. When it sounds funny, when it's acting funny, you immediately can tell. And sure enough, that's what she was doing. It started sounding funny. I wasn't getting the power that I'm used to out of this thing. So pulled over to Daniel's camp at Mr. Mid-Arc Off-Road. He's a pretty knowledgeable diesel mechanic. So he came over. We were looking, I was getting fuel. We checked the air filter. Air filter wasn't sucked in. I didn't get any water inside the air box. The oil looked good. There was no coolant in the oil. There was no oil in the coolant. Everything seemed to be okay, but I was just white smoking like crazy out of the stack. I said, well, the general consensus was that we probably had blown up the turbo in it. Or maybe the turbo seal was bad. That was another thing that was thrown out. So I said, well, we'll just park in the middle of the mud hole, hang out, have some drinks, and whatever. That'll be the end of the truck for today, for this weekend. But then we were hanging out with Carlos, and his buddy Alice came over. He said, well, did you pull the oil cap and see what's going on in there? I did not, actually. I don't know why. I'm still kind of learning the whole engine side of this truck. From the frame down, I know every single nut and bolt on this thing like the back of my hand. But still learning the engine bay. So he said, well, let's pull that oil cap. Let's see if you're getting some blow-by. He pulled the oil cap, and sure enough, it's just spitting and misting like crazy. So we went ahead, and I drove it back to camp. By the time I got back to camp, there was oil all over the windshield. Oil is coming out the stack. So I'm pretty sure that there's a cracked piston. That's what everybody's saying. I don't know enough about these motors to really know one way or the other. I'm going to be learning it, though. Looks like I'm going to be learning it sooner rather than later, too. But I think the old Killin It Mega Truck is finally done so. I got to be honest, so I got a lot of mixed emotions going on. I mean, obviously I'm down because my truck is freaking broken. It's not something I can just fix tomorrow. Looks like we're probably going to miss RYC unless we can coax some of our friends into going. We can ride around with them. But I don't think the truck's going to be making RYC because I don't see a new motor getting put in here in 2 weeks. So that kind of sucks. But honestly, like, oddly enough, I'm not super upset about it because I beat the living hell out of this truck. I mean, I'm responsible with it. Like, I take care of it and everything. Change the fluids frequently. Baby it. No, I don't baby it. I baby it when I'm doing maintenance on it. When we're at the mud hole and we're at the truck tug pad, I freaking let her rip. Drop the hammer. Slam that pedal to the floor. Sometimes with both feet. But I can't really be disappointed. This thing has lasted a long freaking time. And I honestly think that speaks wonders for Duramax. I know I give Cummins people a hard time and Ford owners a hard time. But, dude, a truck's a truck. As long as you take care of it, it'll take care of you. And this thing, I think this truck in particular really speaks wonders for Duramax because of how hard I've been on this thing. I mean, we roast the tires on this thing. I've overheated this thing a gazillion times. And it has lasted this long. It's about 3 years that this thing has lasted. So I'm not super upset. We're going to have to miss a couple events, but now it is time to turn it up. Now it is time to really be killing it. I think that's part of the reason why I'm a little, like, not down, almost excited, because we are going to put one bad son of a bitch under the hood of this thing now. When she comes back to life, she's going to be coming back to life on a whole nother level. Mark my words. So think we're still gonna hang out. I'll go back over to the mud hole. I want to get this thing on the trailer while the engine's still hot and it's still moving. So, but I think that's gonna be the end of the truck for this weekend. We're gonna go back over the mud hole, hang out with our friends, and then tomorrow, get old girl home, get her cleaned up, get the little roll around wheels on it, and then start talking really nicely to the mad scientist, because I'm gonna need his help to get this thing going. So, I'm not disappointing you at all, girl. You freaking killed it. Proud of her. It's a hell of a truck, one hell of a machine. All right, y'all, so I want to fill you in on a couple little details that I didn't realize were relevant at the time when I was like recording all this and I was actually at the mud park. But now it's pretty cool. The way the Killin It channel is going to start twisting a little bit, the plot is getting pretty neat. It's kind of freaking badass. So I don't really push it on people too much or put too much of it on my channel, but I'm a very religious person. I'm a Christian, big believer in God. I'm not a God-fearing person, never quite understood that terminology. I'm a God-loving person. So now they say God works in very mysterious ways. Well, boy, was he freaking working. So I go back in the camper. I'm kind of feeling down, kind of feeling upset, like pretty sure that I just blew the engine in my mega truck, which freaking sucks. And bam, my phone goes off and I get a Facebook message from this guy that I'm not really too familiar with, but he hits me up and says, hey, I saw you at Ironworks Mud Ranch. You got a Duramax mega truck. Do you have an extra intercooler boot? I just damaged mine. Well, if you all watch the freaking truck tug video that I posted before this one, you see that I ripped my intercooler boot, so my spare one was actually on my truck. So I'm like, no, man, sorry, I wish I could help you out. My motor is screwed up, so if you want the one off my truck, I guess I can give you that one, but I don't have a spare one or like a new one that I can give you or anything like that. So he goes, oh, no big deal, and that's kind of the end of it. So keep that little bit of information in the back of your head, because this is where it gets kind of interesting. I finally decide, you know what, I'm not going to freaking ruin my whole weekend. It's like a 6-hour drive total to get here. I'm not freaking letting this all go to waste. I'm going back to the mud hole. So now we continue. All right, gave myself a pep talk. I'm not going to sit there and feel sorry for myself. We're freaking going back to the mud hole and keep partying. Luckily, we got a bunch of friends with trucks. Whew. Thank God for y'all. Say it all the time, wouldn't be shit without my friends. I think I even said earlier in this video. Now it's time for you guys to shine. Bam. See, that didn't take too long. Freaking Brody picked me up. And there, now we're going right on over that way. To the party in the mud hole. Yeah, bro. There's the Duramax. That's right, one of us is still alive. This guy is done. Cheers to that one. So apparently the guy that owns that truck, the guy that we've been watching rip around the mud hole with that freaking super badass Duramax, that's the same dude that was just hitting me up on Facebook a little bit earlier, asking me for an intercooler boot. So we get to talking about trucks and whatnot and this and that. He's telling me about his twin turbo LBZ that he has in that mega truck. God, that thing is a freaking animal. So I'm asking him, like, dude, what do we got to do to be able to go for a ride in that thing? He's like, well, get in it. Let's go. I'm like, you serious? He's like, yeah, come on, let's go rip around. I'm like, yes, hell yeah. So now the plot gets even more interesting. This is pretty cool what's going on here. All right, y'all, so we're going for a rip with the boys, twin turbo Duramax. So I just got locked and loaded in Raleigh's freaking compound twin turbo LBZ. Want to say anything to the fans, bro? We're gonna give it hell. We're gonna give her hell and let her rip, Taterchip. They're gonna be recording it for us, so wish us luck.
She's
So we go and do those 2 little rips, and I'm like, bro, not to be a pain in the ass, but could we please run over to my camper real quick and let me grab my cameras? Because this thing is freaking insane. It's way different than any truck I've ever ridden in my entire life. It sounds crazy. It's a freaking Duramax. It's like a race truck. And this guy like knows how to drive it too. Like he's not afraid of it by any means. He knows how to rip the living out of that truck. So he's like, yeah. He's like, I'll make you a deal. We'll cruise over there and get your cameras as long as you throw it in your YouTube video. I'm like, done. So there you guys go. You guys get a front row freaking ticket to this ride. It's so freaking awesome. All right, y'all, we started ripping this thing and I was like, holy crap, I gotta capture this whole experience with GoPros. So we ran over to the camp real quick. Dude, look at his rig. Thing sounds like an animal. Wait till you guys see this. I didn't know what was behind us because it's all like kind of blocked off. That is a freaking Duramax with a whole bunch of Duramax bald eagles. If I tell you what's up. This is so nasty.
Well, I was thinking, I was like,
Those are some Duramax bald eagles. If I say so myself. Holy crap. This is a freaking machine. Holy cow. It's pretty easy to work on, I imagine. It's got a full roll cage in it, nitrous. Dude, where is this guy, man? I feel like we're gonna be really good friends. This guy gets me. Or maybe I get him. I don't know. All I know is this thing is freaking out of control. I can't get enough of it. It's like every Duramax owner's like dream right here. What a freaking animal. God. Thing is so freaking sick. Look at that. I'm in like a great mood now. I was super upset earlier. I'm like, feeling pretty good. Okay. Thing is insane. God, if y'all couldn't tell, I was a little bit speechless looking at that thing. I still am. That's like, if I could like switch, like you heard me? You heard me right now? That thing is so freaking cool. Oh, you guys hear that? Now that boy right there has got serious Duramax bald eagles. I'm telling. I got some Duramax, but that guy's got all the Duramax bald eagles. Holy cow! Ripping through there. I hope the GoPro's the lenses got a little dirty, but I hope the video came out pretty cool for y'all. God, what a rush! It's like indescribable. It's like a carnival ride that gets your adrenaline just jacked. Like it. Friggin' highly recommend. If you got the means, I highly recommend picking one up in the word Ferris Bueller. So I'm gonna go back to camp. I got super muddy. So I'm gonna go back to camp and get washed up. But God, that brought my spirits up. I'm not in a bad mood at all anymore. That thing's. Well, I'm gonna probably be in a bad mood when I go back and see my truck with oil all over the place on the trailer. But as of right now, we are super freaking killing it. Yeah. Say what I said. Well, that's a wrap on our Iron Horse Mud Ranch March 2022 mud bogging videos. I do want to spend a second though and fill you all in on a couple more details of what's going on here and why it was so awesome that I met Rally and was able to go for a ride in his truck and what is kind of transpiring from all that. So I'm not sure what the hell's going on with the truck engine quite yet. Pretty sure that's a cracked piston. Got to do some diagnosing. That's probably going to be what my next video is. We're going to start getting into really what in the hell is wrong with the truck. But I do want to go ahead and spend a second and explain to y'all why I think it's got working in mysterious ways to kind of help me through this tough time in my mega truck living experience. So I've been looking at building the engine for that truck for honestly about 2 years now. I never really put anything on the channel or put anything on social media about it. It's all been kind of behind the scenes work. But everyone's been telling me for like the past few years now that my truck motor is going to blow up at any second. I'm sure if you go back to a bunch of my videos, I even talk about that a bunch of times, how a bunch of knowledgeable mechanics, a bunch of my buddies are always telling me, I don't know how that thing's still living. I don't know how that thing hasn't burned up yet. I don't know how you haven't blown that motor yet. So I always try to plan ahead a little bit for things like that. So I've been in touch with multiple different engine builders throughout the past 2 years or so. I actually did start building an engine for the truck. It was going to be another Duramax. Started building that motor. That was almost 2 years ago, maybe a year and like 10 months ago is when we first started that. We kind of got a good ways into it, and then I kind of wanted to go a different direction. So did the engine builder, so we kind of ended up just saying, yeah, we're going to scrap that idea, scrap that block, scrap that engine, and go a different route. So then we actually ended up canceling that whole deal. It's a good thing we did, because come to find out, the route we were going wouldn't have worked for my application at all anyway. But now, probably in the past 6 months or so, I've been talking to a different engine builder, and we've been really trying to dial in exactly what I wanted to do. I was going to start building an engine incrementally, and then eventually just do a motor swap in the truck, preferably before it blew up. But due to what's going on now, that whole timetable got shoved forward quite a bit. But a big problem we run into is most of the guys that have these built Duramax diesel engines that are like badass like that, they are built for drag racing applications. There aren't a whole lot of them that are going to mud holes or going to truck tugs, and those truck tugs are hellacious on those engines. I mean, I'm sure you guys common sense can kind of tell you, but I mean, engines are not made to have that kind of strain on them and driven the way that we drive them. Especially, I mean, there's a couple of us, myself included, that the light turns green, literally my philosophy, light turns green, that pedal's to the damn floor either till I overheat or I win, one of the two. So all that being said, a lot of the engine builders are saying, hey, you need to talk to people that are in the mud game and figure out kind of what the best route is or what the best engine setup is, or combination of turbo if you want to do twin turbos, if you want to do a single turbo, a big turbo, if you want to do this, you want to do that. Like, you got to talk to someone in the mud game that really understands and has used this stuff to tell you what works and what doesn't work. And where we're at kind of a disadvantage is I don't really have a whole lot of knowledge about that sort of stuff. I mean, I'm learning it. I'm definitely learning a ton of it. And the mad scientist is pretty knowledgeable about diesels too, but the route that he went and the way he set up his truck is completely different than a Duramax diesel would be in my truck. Not to mention our trucks are totally different. His is a lot lighter. His is kind of built for speed, kind of more being a ripper. To mine's kind of a hybrid almost. It's like not a ripper built for speed, but it's not like a big heavy bogger. It kind of lives in both worlds a little bit. So I was honestly getting kind of stumped because I mean, I knew I was going to put some kind of a badass engine in the truck, but exactly what it was going to be and how it was going to be set up, still haven't have dialed in quite yet. A lot of the people I rubbed shoulders with were telling me that, oh, we'll just put another stock motor in it. Oh, just put it like a mildly. But well, if you're watching this video, I'm sure you follow my channel. I'm sure you follow me on social media, and I'm sure you're aware I don't do anything like that. That's not the way I do things. I'm not going to freaking put a half-ass engine in my truck. I'm not going to put a stock motor in my truck. That's a total opposite direction of everything I try to do. Like my dad always told me growing up, anything worth doing is worth doing right. So unless we're going to put something like over the top, freaking super badass, super crazy in it, I don't even want to mess with it. Just freaking leave it alone, which is what I've been doing. I honestly remember even when we were building the truck, there was a lot of people that were telling me that I was getting too intense with the way everything was on that. And I'm like, well, that's what I want. One way or another, I'm going to do what I want to do. And for some reason, it's like a character flaw of mine that I like going way over the top with every single thing I freaking do. I don't entirely understand why I was getting the pushback that I was getting, but I mean, whatever. It is what it is. And luckily, the mad scientist is on board. That's honestly probably one of the biggest things that's fueling this fire and kind of giving me the oomph to be able to get this done. Is Brian is on board for this. That's probably one of the biggest reasons why the mad scientist and the hyena, why my little team, why we get along so good. No is not in our vocabulary. We're not going to half-ass anything. If we want to do something, all right, well, you're not going to talk the other person out of it. We're going to find a way to make it freaking happen. Oh, yeah, and by the way, that's Brian Robinson. He has the Adrenaline Mega Truck, the big red GMC truck, and he also has a big red Jeep. And he's the mad scientist, and he's Brian Robinson with R&D Concepts, bro. Sorry, I had to throw that little soundbite in there because he was just giving me a hard time the other day, telling me that I always refer to him as a mad scientist, so no one knows really who it is. He's just giving me a hard time, but there you go. There's your soundbite, bro. But Brian is a super freaking good dude. I always talk about him in all my videos because he helps me with like pretty much everything. But even when that was another little part that it wasn't in any of the filming or anything. When my truck blew up and it started, like, word spread like wildfire that I had finally blown the truck up. It kind of shocked me how quickly everybody knew about it. Like, I think there was videos probably going around on TikTok and Snapchat and all that of the truck smoking everywhere. And everybody was hitting me up. Oh, man, it's finally dead. So I called Brian a couple times to tell him what happened. He actually ended up calling me while I was in the camper there, kind of feeling sorry for myself a little bit. And, dude, not to get all freaking corny on it, but what an awesome friend. He called me. He's like, dude. He's like, don't forget, he knows how much that truck means to me. And like, it's not the truck itself that means a whole lot to me. I mean, people get misconstrued with that. I'm not super consumed with the materialism of the truck. No, it's what the truck is, like the experience. Like, you get to hang out with all your friends. I get to meet all kinds of awesome people, like y'all that are watching this video, all my mega truck friends. I get to hang out. We all have kind of same interests, all the different activities we get to go do together, all the freaking tug of war competitions we get to do, ripping through the mud, the whole 9 yards, those long weekends at the mud hole. That's why the truck is so important to me, because I love doing all that stuff. I love hanging out with all y'all, love hanging out with all my mega truck friends. That's probably one of my favorite things in my life at the moment. I freaking love doing that stuff. So that's why I was so down with the truck. But anyways, Brian, he understands all that. So he called me up and he's like, dude, I know you're super down about the truck, but don't let it get in your head. He's like, don't worry, just get it on the trailer, get it home. That needs to be your focus. You need to get it home. He's like, also, Zacho, I'm looking at the glass half full, bro. He goes, you could have been calling me right now, telling me you just rolled the truck over and somebody's seriously hurt. He's like, you're fine. Everybody you're with is fine. Look at the glass half full. The truck we can fix. He's like, get it home, get it cleaned up, and we'll start planning what we're going to do. He's like, one way or another, we're going to get you back going. Like, that is a freaking badass friend right there. They'll call you, kind of put your mind at ease a little bit, let you know that he's got your back and that you're going to be freaking back up and running in no time. That's, Brian, you're the freaking man, dude. You, sir, you're the man. Everybody should be fortunate enough to have a friend like you, brother. So reeling all that back in and circling back around to my new friend, Mr. Raleigh, with that twin turbo LBZ Duramax freaking crazy race truck. Awesome freaking contact to make. And what are the chances that I meet him and establish contact with him the same event that I could have potentially just blown the engine in my truck? freaking awesome. I don't believe in coincidences. That's definitely the man upstairs taking care of me. And going even freaking further with that, I didn't record any of this stuff, but later on that last night at Iron Horse, he actually came over to my camp and started asking me questions like about what I thought was wrong with the truck and kind of what my plan is to fix it, blah, blah, blah. We ended up talking about engines and motor builds and Duramaxes, and dude, he is like a super knowledgeable mechanic when it comes to Duramax engines. He's built like a ton of them. He's got a bunch of pulling trucks. He's built a bunch of pulling trucks for his friends. Seems to really know all the ins and outs of Duramax diesels, and he's ran them in the mud. Obviously, he built a really sick one that he's running in the mud. And he's got a ton of experience running different turbo combinations, different types of setups on these trucks. So he can really kind of answer the questions that I had and get me dialed in so that we can build one hell of a new engine for the truck, if we end up having to do that. I freaking tell you what, man, God cranked it out of the park with this one. I am so pumped up now. But that was about the end of the event, so we went ahead and chained the truck down and started heading on home. All right, y'all, so we're on our way home and made a little pit stop here over at the old IHOP to get ourselves some food. And it just so happens, as luck would have it, this is the same exit as the legendary 75 Chrome Shop. Boom! How freaking cool. I don't know if it's open or not, but I'm gonna check it out. If y'all don't know, so this is like legendary freaking semi-truck shop or any kind of truck shop. They do all kinds of like big rig stuff, all those really super badass looking semi-trucks you see going down the highway with all the LED lights on them and all the cool little accents and ones that are like super dialed in. That kind of stuff happens here. I don't know if they're open. It kind of looks like they might be closed, but I don't know, maybe their regular shops open, because it did say open 7 days a week on the sign. So it's it's right off Interstate I-75 exit 329. I think it's Inverness is where this town is. But man, this is cool. All right, I'm gonna stop recording myself so y'all can see this. Bam. How freaking cool. This place is huge. Damn. Freaking closed Sundays. That sucks. I would have loved to have gone in there. Look at how much stuff is in there. Big old smokestacks. Bites. Oh, well, at least we got to see it. So I've heard everybody always talking about this place, but I've never been here. They got a hidden dude. Big little badass bumpers for semis. Like chicks on them. Man, this is freaking awesome. Look at that stack. It's got the holes on it. Up back here, looks like they got a whole freaking mess of semis too. Well, that freaking bites that they're closed. But I've heard about this place so many different times, and I always see people like wearing hats and clothes and stuff from here too. It's like in the trucking world, it seems like this is like a landmark type place. I could see why, because there's all kinds of neat stuff in there. So, y'all need to come here any day of the week besides Sunday. Even though the sign said 7 days a week, they meant 6 out of 7. Dang, it's real deal, baby. God, so freaking awesome. So, well, if y'all ever in this way, this part of the woods, neck of the town, y'all need to come over and check this place out. Because if you're into stuff like I am, which if you're watching my channel, likelihood you probably are, this is like freaking awesome. Real deal. Super bitchin'. 75 Chrome Shop. Yeah, brother. So, time to go get me some freaking pancakes and finish skedaddling on home and start unraveling the mess of problems we get to deal with after our fun weekend at Iron Horse. Brian, you know how cool it is to have a best friend like you? Hope you're feeling very energetic for the next couple months so we can get the old Killin It Mega Truck back, living, breathing, ready to rip and roll. All right, y'all, so we just made it back home. Got the truck unchained. Trying to think a little proactively here. There's a good chance that truck's gonna be sitting for a little minute before we can do something about this motor situation. So while we're here on the trailer, I actually went ahead and swapped out the fluids in that front center chunk and in the rear center chunk. Got the water out of there that we collected throughout mud bogging this weekend. Put some fresh oil in there. It's now just for me getting it off the trailer and loading it back over where she sleeps. Hopefully that'll fling the oil up all over the place, get all the water out of the trunk, so that if the truck does sit for a little minute, my axles are not going to go to hell in a handbasket like they did after that Okeechobee freaking engine fire. Not making that mistake again. So now she's unchained though. Gonna hop up, fingers crossed, she'll fire up, and at least I can get her put away for now. So we shall see. Let's say a little prayer for us. We might need it. All right, come on, Angel. Just need you to go another couple feet, and then you can sleep for probably a little minute. Yeah, that's your engine oil, in case y'all didn't know. There we go. Ready? Come on, honey. Oh, she started. She sounds awful still, but she started. Oh, and she's shaking like a son of a gun too. But you're moving, making Daddy proud. That a girl. That a girl, thank you. Because that would have sucked if I couldn't get it off the trailer. Alright. And she does not sound very healthy at all at the moment. Well, y'all, she cooperated. Made it back to her freaking living quarters. So now we have got some serious cleaning to do. And some serious diagnosing. And I'm not sure what else. I don't know, time out the president start getting her clean. But you know what? I got this new technique about cleaning this truck. I'm going to show you real quick. I'm going to learn you something real cool. Ready? Check this out. One, two, bam! It worked! I kind of didn't know if it was going to work, but oh damn, it worked. Look at that. Damn, she's super clean now. See? All you people that want to know how I clean the truck, that's it. Wonder if I can switch it back to muddy. Ready? No, that'd be too much. Gotcha. Gotcha. If y'all enjoyed the video and want to check out future videos, subscribe to our channel. Hit that button right there. While you're at it, hit the like button at the bottom of your screen. You can also check out our website, KillinItLifestyle.com. There you can follow the Killin It crew and order your own apparel so everyone will know you're Killin' It.